movie Glorious.
Yeah.
All right.
Gang members hold positions at the highest levels.
Oh, let me.
LA Sheriff's Department.
Shit. I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah. No.
Dang. Only thing, the first thing I thought about when I saw this article was what you call it? Was Training Day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw this shit.
When I read the whole thing through, and I was like, "This is Training Day."
That's exactly what I thought.
This is what this shit is.
Chris Gardner, several years ago.
We know he was right.
Exposed him, and then he ends up dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but now they're talking about they're trying to weed them out. Dude, they're in there. That's what it is. It's the foundation. You can't weed out the foundation.
You can. Right. You would need the federal government to step in and get rid of all of them.
That's a bigger gang, though.
Yeah, you have to start from scratch.
But that's
the mob to step in.
That's what I'm saying. You would literally need the federal government to step in. But they don't really want to do nothing about it, because in the article, if you was reading the article, there was two specific paragraphs. If you just let me read it real quick. It's LASD's struggle with deputy gangs has been an open secret within law enforcement, and the report upbraids the county DA's office for recklessness in not closing the gang affiliations of deputies who also serve as prosecution witnesses. The failure to obtain and to disclose potentially exonerating or impeaching testimony favorable to the defense, it argues, raises significant constitutional issues. Here's the part that got me. The report concludes with a detailed set of policy recommendations for uprooting the department's gangs. The moves range from prohibiting tattoos to breaking up precinct cliques to reforming command structures to limit precinct autonomy. It insists that the elimination of deputy cliques and gangs is not only constitutionally permissible, but a constitutional imperative. But nowhere in that motherfucker did they say, we're going to fire these motherfuckers and hold them equally accountable, and make those same gang enhancements and gang injunctions equally applicable to these motherfuckers.
That part.
How about Rico?
Right.
They won't use it on their own. They won't use it on their own. That's just it.
It's
everything I just read. They want to go right up under it. They're not going to apply that to their own. In that case, they won't have a squad. LA, what they kept, the old saying is, even the gangbangers, like the biggest gang in LA is the police.
They've been saying that shit.
They've been saying that since fucking colors.
And then Christopher Gardner exposed it, and then they lied and said he went on a shooting spree.
Yeah. So, yeah. But when I saw that, I was like, Training Day was fucking real. That was art imitating life like a motherfucker, man.
Like, remember in that scene when he was talking to Hoyt and he said, you got to get your ink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was spot the fuck on with it. And it's just like, y'all, when it
that movie, was it Fuqua?
It was Antoine
Fuqua. Yeah.
And it's like when it's the brothers and shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all of the shit that the black gangs do with the tattoos and the Mexican gangs, these motherfuckers be giving them stiff ass gang enhancements. Anything they fucking do, if a nigga jaywalking, he belonged to a gang enhancement. Now, so I think that the same shit should be equally applicable to them. These motherfuckers purposely starting shit, trying to get in the shootouts, doing what they call chasing ink. Come on, man.
They're protected by the wall, man. They're protected.
I tell you, an indicator of their of the gaslighting, the beginning. Well, I won't say beginning, but when it became evident. When I was working in corrections, they started using the term security threat group. Everybody was STG affiliated or STG labeled, and you could just have a hood tattoo for your hood. And there's guys that actually didn't belong to organizations, but because they were from the same hood, where there was a chieftain or a lieutenant or old head, they said, nope, you're STG. You're affiliated. You're from that neighborhood. You're from that city. You're this. And they started just labeling them. So anything they did, they could violate them with that or RICO.
I mean, like you said, Yeah, that's like jail politics or whatever. Like you just explained, like you be from that hood. Like these are the St. Louis cats.
But it
These are
carried
the
over
Ohio
to the
cats.
streets.
Yeah, they put you in that
Yeah,
cart. Like, dude,
carried
you
over
got it.
to the
And then
streets.
once you get in, whether or not you affiliated with them or not, you better join. You better get in that cart. If you don't get in that cart, man, you just an off brand. You free for everybody. You don't ride with these cats. You don't ride with the east side. You don't ride with the north side. You don't ride with the the west side.
Well, think about that. In the article, it said that anybody who was a loner or anybody who won with the program, if these motherfuckers got into some shit, they was on their own. They wouldn't show up, or the response would be delayed. You fuck, you know what I mean?
Training day. Remember he left that motherfucker?
Yeah. And personally, if it was me, that's what local activists should work on. I mean, I'm no fan of the whole gang shit, you know what I mean? Because I think it's done enough damage, but at the same time, we got to call this shit across the board. Because in the article, I mean, I seen a documentary on that shit like 1 or 2 years ago. I think it was the Executioners. They had something about them. I think it might have been Vice or somebody. And these cats admitted, these dudes are racist. You know what I'm saying? So, but they part of the system, so they back. But I mean, it's not just LA. We talking about LASD. What about what's going on with LAPD? Everybody know about the Rampart Division. We know what shit in there. But look over in Texas with the situation with Michael Johnson. They found out one of the police officers he killed had motherland on his arm. That goes to what FBI's reports were saying, that white supremacists infiltrated the police department's law enforcement. So my thing is, if I was the activist, man, I would be trying to make it to where if y'all not gonna hold these motherfucking sheriff's deputies accountable, just like they hold these black street gang members, then goddamn it, y'all need to get rid of these gang enhancements and these gang injunctions. If y'all just talking about breaking these motherfuckers up but not putting them in jail, come on, fam.
Thank you for reading that. Thank you for reading that.
Employ their services.
Reading that thoroughly, because that's the whole breakdown. That was my whole take when I read it, because I read the article like 2-3 times. I was like, are you serious? Because I was waiting for them to say, we're going to start bringing some charges. They're like, no, we want to break this up.
Right.
No, don't break it up, man. Charge motherfuckers.
Because if you break them up, it's just going to be more people to recruit in these breakup spots. It's going to be more of them. It's going, you know what I'm saying? That's stupid.
And you just
it's gonna be like a hydra. When one head gets chopped off, another one.
That's
goes.
You just hit the nail on the head. Think about okay, when they tore down Cabrini Green. Anybody from Chicago would tell you when they tore that shit down,
thing they could have done to the city.
Right, because it was all centralized in the projects. But when they tore that shit down, that shit spread like wildfire. Just like in the prison gangs, they called them. Okay, look at Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor, and Miklo was telling his underboss. He said they think that they stopping something by breaking us up, but each UNDA member is going to go to this prison and that prison. They're going to have X amount of money to set up their trade, and they're going to recruit members, and we going to grow just like that. So what the fuck you think is going to happen by breaking them up? No, prosecution need to happen, because they already mentioned witness tampering in the article. These cats is on the stand. You know what I'm saying? As witnesses. Come on, fam. Come on, man. Come on.
You break them up, that shit gonna spread like wildfire.
Motherfucker gonna be in Texas doing that.
I'm glad that hit your radar like that. You paid attention to that one point, saying that, hey man, we're just gonna break it up. We're not gonna fix it. It's gonna put them, relocate them.
Right.
I've seen some standalones, right? There's some standalones took on 8-9 guys at a time. No weapon. They win, right? You know what happens? They put them all in the transitional housing unit. And then the other 8-9 guys get out after 2 days. They hold the guy that won.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how that go, man. It ain't going to get fixed by, we saw right through that bullshit. It was just so blaring that they trying to, bring it to everybody's attention about, oh, we know there's a problem. We trying to weed them out. There's no weed them out.
Mm-hmm.
There is no weed them out, man. It's a done deal.
What happens to all the evidence in the cases that they've been involved in?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why
cops can arrest a couple of people a day. Hundreds of people a year.
But you need money to fight those cases. You need money to hire Benjamin Crump. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
only one Benjamin Crump to
Right.
go and try to fight your damn case. And, you know, brothers in there, it's so many cats that's sitting, you know, that don't have the resources to fight these bullshit charges.
Right.
That's where we're at. And I'm glad you brought that up because there's a lot of folks that's just sitting there like, man, he just pointed me out. He just saw me. You know what I mean? I didn't do a damn thing. He just pointed me out.
Absolutely.
So one of our next stories, I just want to say this, is going to be about the cartels, right?
Yeah.
So just imagine this. I made a statement a little bit ago. It's more lucrative to employ these people's services than to actually uproot the real foundation, because you have pockets and cells of extended agency power. Let's just put it that way. That works both sides, which generates the revenue on both sides.
Yeah, we understand. You know, there's more money in so-called conflict resolution than actual resolution.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just that's propaganda. That one-on-one. We know what that is. That's how that goes. You said they're gonna play both sides.
Play both sides of the fence.
Yeah, you got to create a war to actually fund it, and then to rebuild afterwards.
Right. It's that hidden hand thing.
Yeah, that's all.
And then you
sleight of hand.
You blame the poor people. You blame it all on the poor people. They can't stop committing crime.
And now we got to go in and rebuild. Don't forget about Just Say No and the war on crime.
I told you that shit worked for me. I don't know what y'all.
I'm sorry, the war on drugs. The war on drugs.
Right.
The war on drugs. Big difference.
And as Michelle Alexander stated, that shit only made the situation worse, man.
Mm-hmm.
They said, man, we can flood the hood, get these motherfuckers addicted, and arrest these niggas for selling and using.
Yeah, and we could fund the proxy, and we could fund the proxy war on the backs of that.
And it's still a better plan than the Rex 84 project or King Alfred plan. Put them all in FEMA camps and gas them to death.
Allegedly. Next.